A nightmare in Providence. A quiet exam hall turned into a scene of absolute devastation. Two promising American futures extinguished in an instant. And the suspect still roaming free. Meet Mukhammad Aziz Umurzokov. A name you should know. A story that embodies the very best of this nation's promise. Just 18 years old, a freshman with a brilliant mind and a spirit that had already conquered the impossible. Standing proudly in his blue suit, holding his academic awards, he looked every bit the future leader. He was not just a student, he was a survivor. Having arrived on these shores in 2011, he fought through complex brain surgery at age 10. He looked death in the eye as a child and won, driven by a singular, noble ambition, to become a neurosurgeon and save others. He did everything right. He worked hard. He earned his place. And yet, tragically, the system could not protect him from this senseless act. Mukhammad was not the only bright light extinguished in that economics hall. We must remember Ella Cook, a sophomore, and a principled voice on campus as the vice president of the college Republicans. It was supposed to be a routine afternoon in the Barris and Holly Engineering Building, 4 p.m. Students were gathering for a final review, focusing on their futures, unaware that danger was walking through the door. Witnesses describe a scene of sudden, irreversible chaos. The sanctuary of higher learning was violated. For hours, the campus remained in lockdown, students barricaded in dorms, silence falling over the Ivy League grounds, while parents across the nation waited by their phones in agony. Two families are now left with a void that can never be filled. But as the grief settles, a cold fury is rising across Rhode Island. We are days past the incident, and there are no answers. The assailant remains at large. The timeline of the investigation has raised serious questions about competence and public safety. Authorities initially detained a person of interest, a 24-year-old man, only to release him shortly after. City officials were quick to assure the public there was no further threat, a statement that rings hollow while the perpetrator walks free. Critics are now asking the hard questions. How does a suspect vanish in the surveillance age? Why are resources seemingly misallocated? While law enforcement scrambles to recover, the community is left looking over its shoulder. The confidence in local leadership is eroding by the hour. This tragedy underscores a grim reality facing our institutions. We see a pattern of vulnerability, where the most promising among us are left exposed. Muhammad overcame a life-threatening illness to reach the Ivy League, only to fall victim to a breakdown in societal order. Ella Cook dedicated herself to civic engagement, only to have her voice silenced. The campus is now empty, classes canceled. The exams that seemed so important are now forgotten debris in a crime scene. As vigils are held and candles are lit, the demand is not just for prayers. The demand is for accountability. The demand is for a justice system that prioritizes the capture of violent offenders above all else. Until this threat is neutralized, there can be no peace in Providence.